and welcome to the X22 Report. This is episode number 25, which is a Saturday news brief. And the title of this news brief is Economic Collapse News from the People. Now, I just wanted to go over the People. It's a community forum that's part of X22report.com. And it's made up of a community of people from all over the world giving us news without the mainstream media and letting us know what's going on in the country itself. And I believe that for us to fight back and for us to show governments, central bankers that we mean business, we need to come together. So anyone who is hearing this, please join. Please be a part of the movement. Please be heard. I mean, you can use, if you're worried, use a code name. But you know what? You can help somebody else. You can be helped by a skilled person. And if you're in another part of the world, in another country, believe me, we want to hear from you. We want to know what's going on. And I really want to thank those people who have already given us news from their country and will continue giving us news. And I hope more people in those countries join up and tell us what's going on. So, I mean, we're all in this together, and I believe the people will prevail, and this is the way we can let them know and stick together, know what's going on, and be part of the people. So let's get into our news brief here. And a couple things that have been happening today. I saw something in the news about the Secret Service, and they're trying to get a bill passed in Colorado. And this bill is allowing the Secret Service to override sheriffs in Colorado, where if a sheriff is not going to enforce the Second Amendment, the Secret Service can make them. And this is how I see President Obama, the central bankers, getting around the Second Amendment, because they're going to do everything possible to get the guns away. And they're going to come at us from all different angles just to get this done, because they don't want anyone armed at all. And this is, I discussed it yesterday, this is just one part of it. And believe me, you're going to see many more things. They're going to try everything to see which one they can get through and which one they can get past, which one they can set up as a template to be used in other states. But we cannot allow this to happen. Now, if we look at other things that are going on in the news, I mean, you can see already the IMF is proposing a $1.40 tax on a per gallon of gasoline in the United States. This is ridiculous. I mean, they want to tax on top of the taxes that are already there. They're just continually taxing. And we've seen this before. We've seen this in the Revolutionary War. This is what happens. Taxes upon taxes continue they keep doing it. They keep imposing new laws. They keep imposing new taxes. They're trying to push us into a corner. And this is what always happens. It's the same thing throughout history, and it's continuing on now. There's a video that I posted on this page. You can go watch it. It's news reporters talking about the $1.40 tax, and it's just ridiculous. Other things in the news today. You know those fusion centers that our DHS has set up to monitor, for terrorists and things like that? Well, I know I've said this in my other episodes, and these fusion centers have really been set up to spy on Americans, to spy on those groups that might be anti-government. Now, here in America, we have the First Amendment, freedom of speech, and we have every right to speak against our government. And you know what? We have every right, if that government is not for the people, to replace that government. But these fusion centers have been tracking and keeping an eye on all of these groups that might be domestic terrorists, that might be domestic anti-government. And why do you think they're doing this? Now put this together. them tracking these groups with the gun control. See what they're trying to do? They're trying to find out where the groups are. Let's get the guns all away from these people, because according to this report, that there's been a 913% growth in patriot groups and militias. Now, they know this is happening because they've been spying on us. They've been using these fusion centers and receiving millions upon millions of dollars to have these operated and to spy on us. Now, it's been in the news a while back that these fusion centers do absolutely nothing for what they were set up to do. Of course they do. They're not doing anything because they're telling you one thing and they're using the fusion centers for something totally different. And that's why they're like, well, these fusion centers don't work. You haven't caught any terrorists. Yeah, because that's not what they're for. They're for the American people. They're for tracking these patriot militia groups. That's what it's for. And everyone needs to understand this, what we're up against. Now, also in the news, the propaganda pushing North Korea. North Korea now came out saying that they declare state of war with South Korea. And I think the government, the central bankers, have really finally found a country that will go along with their agenda of provoking them and pushing them and having them turn around and push back. And this is what they want. They want North Korea to make a mistake. They want North Korea to make the first move. And they continually do this, and they continually push push the country to see if they can get to do this. And I believe, and I think they believe, that this country will eventually come to a breaking point where they actually do something. And we can say, the United States and other countries can say, see, look what happened. They fired upon us. They want war. We need to go to war. This will cover up the economic collapse. And this is their end game. Now, if they can't do this, believe me, they have other things already set up. And it might not. That's why they keep on letting us know that these cyber attacks are like cyber nuclear war and things like that. They're equal to that. That's why they're letting us know that these cyber attacks are just not benign. They're really acts of war. Because when North Korea or Iran are implicated in some type of event that includes a cyber attack, this is how they'll get us into war in another way. Now, I know I talked about the people, and I want to thank the people that are contributing. And today we had Alex in Athens, and I know that's his code name, on the people. And he gave us some information, and I really hope more and more people give us information. He's giving us information from the Hellenic Republic, I hope I pronounced that correctly, which is Greece. And he's telling us that virtually everybody has pretty much no money in the bank because of taxes, high cost of living. And any money that they kept it in Cyprus. So they got screwed basically twice because of what's going on in Cyprus. And from what I'm gathering here is that suicide rates are very high, and he's waiting on the monthly total for March of suicides, because when you're in a situation like this and you don't see any out, there people, just like you saw in the Depression, people jumping out of windows, it's the same thing. People become so depressed and upset and they can't live, they don't know how to get through it. And this is why we all need to band together and stay together. He's also letting us know that the unemployment there between ages of 18 and 25 are around 70%. And the employed youth get between 300 to 400 euros monthly. and the ages 25 to 65, the unemployment's around 40 to 45%. So basically, more than half the country has no work. Or you're underemployed, where if you were making 50,000 euros, let's say you're only making 25,000 euros. Use common sense and think about your own situation. If you were making $50,000 in the United States and now you're making 25 or 30,000, how would you do it? How would you get by? What would you need to do to make your rent, your mortgage, to pay your electric, to pay your TV? What would you have to cut out? How would you survive? Just think about this for a second. And right now he's saying that people are boycotting German products. They're returning to the Mediterranean diet. And, politicians, he's saying that they're unable to walk down the streets. And Papandreou is labeled a traitor and wanted for war crimes. And he's saying that the polls and Gallups are all cooked and crooked, and they don't reflect reality whatsoever. And he's saying that the banking systems right now are safe until 2013, which is the German elections. And the Merkel has got every prime minister in all the countries in her back pocket. And it's a very, very bad situation over there. There are no riots at this time. The streets are kind of quiet right now. But, they're all waiting to see what's going to happen in Cyprus. And it's basically, he's saying it's a disaster. And all the stocks in the major banks are, at 22 cents. And it's just not a good situation. And this is the type of news that we want to get from other countries. We want to know what's going on. And he even goes on to say that the military, sometimes they have to lay out money from their own pockets to pay for fuel for their patrols, and they don't have enough money to pay the troops. I mean, it's really a bad situation, but you don't hear this on the mainstream media. And I would like a lot more of this to come in so all of us can see what's really going on, and we can bypass the mainstream media and go right to the real people that are experiencing this, because that's where you get the real information. Those people who have a cause, just like in America, we have patriot groups. Well, they have patriot groups in other countries that are fighting back. He even goes on to say that they're even creating a new constitution in their country. So you can see the movement is starting, and we need to know from real people what's going on the street. To me, that's the real news. This other mainstream media crap that they give us is the bull crap they want us to hear. We need to hear from the people on the street. We need to know what's going on in each one of the countries. Now, I have listed countries on the people on the site, and if yours isn't there, hey, let me know. You can ask Alex in Athens. I'll put it right up very fast. This site, I do not get paid from this. This has nothing to do with money. This has nothing to do with anything except the movement of people. Don't be afraid. Speak out. Let everyone know what's going on. If you've just been a guest and you've been reading, and sign up. Let us know. We want to know. We're here looking at it. I can tell you right now, I just started all this. Okay? This is new. This is something that I just started. It's been almost 30 days or so. And we are getting to the site right now, which I'm shocked. Over 300 people a day coming to the site now. And this to me is fantastic. Of course, we want a lot more, but you know what? It's just the beginning. Tell your friends. Tell everyone. We want to know. If you have a relative in another country, tell them. Let them know. We want to know. We are the people. We are the movement. This is what it's about. Don't sit in your chair and say, oh, what am I going to do? You prep. You take care of yourself. You let others know. You try to help others. This is what the problem will be for the central bankers and the government. Us. We're the problem. We can force them to do things the way we want them to be done. And the internet allows us to do this. This is the time. This is the place. This is the way we can do it. I just want to thank everyone. And again, if you celebrate Easter, I want everyone to have a great Easter. Spend time with your family. I hope all is well wherever you are. Be safe, and especially everyone, get prepared for what's coming. Thank you.